for joining us. Our guest is Chef Star from Anzie Blue, just a terrific restaurant here in the Nashville area, but a restaurant that's going to be closing down, not because it's not doing well, it's transitioning. You've decided to go full bore catering instead, and that's going to be, last day will be December 18th, did you say?
December the 18th.
Oh, boy. Well, I mean, I wish you well in your new endeavor. But
thank you so much.
Restaurants, you know, we're going to go over and have breakfast with you right after the show.
Right after the show.
Let's take a phone call from Jackie, waited through the break. Jackie, good morning. Hi, Jackie.
Hey, Jackie.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good.
Well, first, I want to tell you I love your outfit.
Thank you so much. Wakanda came out today.
Yeah, I know. We're going to see it Friday.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Wow. Well, I wanted to tell you, it's nice to see my man here happy. Sometimes he's so serious. It's nice to hear him happy and talking about food.
Yeah, boy, you know me, okay? Sometimes I have to talk about serious topics, but first of all, she's very fun to spend time with. But I'm like you, I love food, Jackie. So are you getting ready for Thanksgiving?
I am. I wanted to share with her one of my fabulous recipes and a little story behind it real quick.
Okay.
All right.
I've been married for 34 years, and I always liked the good old-fashioned cooking. So one day I wanted to put a lot of love into this dish to take to my mother-in-law's home every year. I cook sweet potatoes. Now, they would never let me cook anything else but sweet potatoes. I turn against sweet potatoes because I always bake them first. I believe in flavor. Flavor.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people lose in cooking because they throw away the flavor. So I'm real careful that I savor my flavor. So I bake my sweet potatoes, and then I take them out and I slice them, you know, and then I put them in the dish. But before I put them in the dish, I layer with brown sugar, white sugar, butter, cinnamon, nutmeg, and then I cover them with, you know, with a vanilla flavor.
Yeah.
Then once I finish that, then I put the potatoes in the dish. Then I do the same layer again on top.
Oh, I bet that's
then I pour over the Karo syrup.
You gonna make me
And
some?
I just let them slowly cook in that juice, their own juices.
Yep.
Yeah.
And honey, they won't let me bring nothing else for Thanksgiving but sweet potatoes.
No wonder.
I want some.
No wonder. That sounds so great.
It sounds good.
And doesn't it almost sounds like, because I'm sure it's very sweet, it almost sounds like a dessert, doesn't it?
Candy.
It's like dessert, but it goes well with your collard greens, your turnip greens, your mac and cheese, and all the other fixings that come with it. And I'm good at cooking those too. The key, my mother passed away in 2000, 2 days before the 9/11. But one thing she taught us, no water. A lot of people cook with water. They drown their food in water. We don't cook with water.
Right.
Wait, so what do you mean?
I know you think that's interesting. Look at your face.
Well, what do you cook? How do you cook your greens?
Steam.
Oh, you steam them.
No, I don't steam mine. You cook the meat that I use meat, darling. So I cook the country ham, and I let it cook down, boil really good. And once it cooks done, then I just wash my greens. That's all the water drain out. I put them over in the pot with the meat, and the meat flavors my greens.
Wow, you're not kidding.
Flavor.
Interesting. Yeah, you know what? And listen, thank you so much for calling, Jackie. She said she's into flavor.
Yeah.
What she just described there to make the greens is big time, because a lot of people will boil their greens and then they'll throw in a ham hock or something, and that'll give the flavor. She cooks her greens in the juice from the meat.
That's what I do.
The flavor would be off the charts on that.
That's how you do it.
That is how you do it.
And then you have to use the country ham because it's salty.
Okay, there's salt. It could be a lot.
It's applications for it.
But there has to be enough juice coming out of the meat, right? I guess it's a combination of whatever.
Well, it's the oils released
Yeah.
that's in the bottom, and then plants naturally have their own moisture.
That's right.
Right? So by her washing the greens and putting them in, basically it's steaming them.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's a small amount of water is all you need. You usually, when you cook greens that way, you want to lid them because it starts to release the water. So it just circles it back.
And then that's why there's enough there to cook it all in.
Yes,
Fantastic
delicious.
recipes,
I love that.
Jackie. I just love that.
I want to come eat at your house.
Well, now, and you said steamed. I didn't even think of that. Now, I used to steam endive, okay? And I like it because in the South, as I've noticed, a lot of the greens, and that's fine, but it's cooked until it comes out, and frankly, half the time it looks like seaweed. It tastes fine to me, but it is cooked down to,
no crunch.
What?
No crunch.
No,
People don't realize that if your vegetables don't have a little bit of crunch to them, you just cooked out everything.
I was gonna say, and it may be
little...
fine. You might like the taste, but aren't you also cooking out all the vitamins into that water?
Yeah.
So what do you do?
I actually cook them a lot like Jackie.
Okay, but you cook them without. She didn't say how long she let them in there.
I use onions and garlic, and then like country ham.
Do you like a little crunch still left, or should it be soft, like really super soft?
Personally, I like a little crunch still left because usually at my house we eat them for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And then I take my leftover greens and make egg rolls.
Egg rolls?
Yes. And then I dip them in cornbread batter and deep fry them.
Oh, yum.
That's what I do with mine.
Wow. I picked a bunch of poke salad in my yard.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. And I boiled them because I didn't want to poison myself.
Oh, yeah, you got to boil them.
I boiled them and rinsed the water out 3 or 4 times, and then I had them with eggs.
Yeah. So you got to do.
It's kind of got a stronger flavor.
Yeah.
Do you like poke salad? You know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking about, but I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I guess for all the work it took for me to do that, I'll just go with other greens than that. Because you do have to boil poke salad several times because there can be some toxins in there that aren't exactly good for you, which makes you wonder, why the heck? But I guess it's, some people love it. They grew up with it.
Right. And then, if life ever goes crazy and we just need to have things to eat. And
yeah. You can eat the poke salad.
It
does. It grows wild and free there.
Yeah.
Talking about the greens, I have some friends coming over for Thanksgiving, that love turkey, but I also have 2 vegan friends.
Right.
And I guess greens, provided you're not cooking them in meat, would be one option for them. What are some, you hear about the tofurkey, okay? It's you can buy this round ball and it's made out of tofu and it's like the turkey. It's all right. Any recommendations for there's vegan
like to
dishes?
Do my friends,
and these vegans will eat some cheese. They'll eat some cheese.
Right, and so my vegan friends usually love my cauliflower.
Okay, what do you do?
I brine it.
All right, walk me through this. So you buy a head of cauliflower.
I get a head of cauliflower.
You cut it up or no?
No, I leave it whole. And then I get saffron.
Okay.
I get crushed red peppers. I get thyme and basil. And I put it in, I mix the saffron with the water how it's supposed to. Then I kind of pour it over there with a little champagne vinegar.
Okay.
Right? I mix it together.
So this is a brine and you're setting it in there?
I sit it in there and I leave it in there for about maybe 30 minutes. It will turn yellow.
Okay, I was going to say, it changes. It doesn't start breaking apart at this point or anything. There's nothing too acidic in there, maybe the vinegar. But so it sits, and so the white cauliflower will start turning a little bit yellowish from the color of what you put in there.
It'll be, from the saffron.
Okay, yeah, right.
Once it gets to be like this bright, beautiful yellow, I take it out. I season it with salt and pepper or whatever seasonings I want, and I put it inside of a aluminum taco. I close it up in aluminum.
Okay.
And I stick it in the oven and I bake it.
At like 350 or?
Yeah, maybe 325 for about 20-30 minutes.
Okay.
And then I give it to them sliced.
So when you take it out, you still have the head. It's solid enough, but it's softened up, I would imagine, after it's cooked. And you slice it. And it's just good to go at that point. And
they love it.
Really? I'm going to try.
I make some kind of.
We're going to do that. We'll do that. I'm going to do that.
I make some kind of gravy from the brine.
Okay, yeah. And again, the brine was safflower.
Saffron.
Oh, I mean, sorry, saffron.
Crushed red peppers.
Crushed red pepper. And you could and the vinegar.
Yeah.
And you could mess with a couple other flavors if you wanted.
Yeah, you can kind of make whatever. If you want to make it Cajun, throw some Cajun seasoning in there.
The cauliflower, what a good idea.
It's nice, it's simple, and then it's easier to create depths of flavor from vegetables than it is meat.
Yeah. I like that idea. I once bought a head of cauliflower and tried grilling it like a steak. I sliced down the middle.
On it.
Oh, pesto.
No, romesco.
What is that?
It's like a bell pepper pesto, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Because you use nuts.
But it's like it's a sauce. It's like a sauce or something like that.
And that way you could put cheese in it. It's just they do like some types of cheese.
Yeah, some of the cheeses.
A romesco on the cauliflower is like a whole.
What a good idea, the cauliflower. Because I've grilled a slice on the grill once on each side and seasoned it. Where it was fine, but it fell apart and it didn't work.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of cooking it in the oven that way after, brining it.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll brine a turkey and I'll brine a cauliflower.
Nice and
How about
easy.
that? Any other, with greens, you can do greens without using
Yeah,
meat,
you
right?
can. We do it Anzie Blue.
Yeah, with all kinds of different seasonings, it's just as good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think anything else. Certain mushrooms.
I'm allergic.
You're allergic to all mushrooms?
Yes.
Even morel mushrooms? Have you ever
Unfortunately.
had a morel mushroom? Because I've gone and picked them and they're delicious.
I don't know. Once I woke up in the hospital one day, I just never ate mushrooms again. They was like, you're allergic to mushrooms. And I was like, I'll never eat that again.
Wow.
And I haven't.
So you haven't
I was
put mushrooms.
20
You
years old.
There's not a single dish at your restaurant that includes mushrooms then, I guess.
Oh, yes, of course. I cook with mushrooms. That has nothing to do with it. I know how to put gloves on and protect
Okay,
myself.
but you do. So I mean, see,
Yeah, I'll
restaurant, you don't have
use
to.
them because I do understand the flavors that they offer, and I also understand that how great of a binder they are for things. So I will
Okay.
use them.
Do you ever cook with tofu?
I do.
mean,
I actually I make a
Okay.
deep fried tofu.
So give me some ideas. And I've seen that before,
I-
where the little chunks and it's deep fried. And it's quite tasty.
Yeah,
but-
and it's just cornstarch.
Yeah,
You roll
food-
them around in some cornstarch. Well, I salt and pepper them. I flavor tofu like it's meat.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. But isn't that what they say? The thing about tofu is it takes on the flavor of whatever you pair it with.
Exactly.
Okay, so.
And then I like to toss it in like a sweet chili sauce.
Okay, after you
Yeah,
fried
like
it.
sweet chili, a little bit of wasabi, and soy.
If you didn't want to fry it, and I know you love to fry, and I like fried stuff, but you don't want to fry
I like to
everything.
pan sear
Could
it,
you,
too.
Can you pan sear it? Can you bake it? Or would it melt?
I
I don't
never
even
tried
know.
to make
You never
it.
tried that. Okay, but you could pan sear it.
Yeah,
And then
make it, give it some color on both sides.
yeah, I just like the chunks after you've rolled it in the corn flour or corn starch, and then cook it there. They're fun to eat.
Yeah.
It's just crunchy, you know. And then, but you would put sauce on it. So tofu.
And toss them.
yeah.
It's like tofu wings.
Yeah. How about? All right, we're gonna take
Look
a
at
break.
us.
We got one more segment. When we come back, we talk desserts.
Yes.
You don't like dessert, do you? You're more of a savory girl.
I am a savory.
You're
girl.
savory as opposed to sweet, aren't you?
I am.
I am too, but that's not. I'm not gonna turn my nose up at certain sweets.
No, I'm not.
But we're savory.
I love to eat sweets.
All right, we'll be back. Our final segment with our guest, maybe another call or two as we talk desserts for Thanksgiving right after this.
All right.